Very good morning, class 8. So yesterday we have discussed about reaction with the water as well as with oxygen, and that too metals and non-metal reaction. So today what we are going to study is reaction with acid and bases, and I'll tell you what are the experiments that we would have done if we would have in school. So the reaction with acids, so metals react with dilute acids to form salts and hydrogen. Hydrogen gas is produced whenever there is a reaction between metal with a dilute acid. So here we have taken, as you can see in the reaction here, magnesium, aluminium, zinc and iron is shown here, and these are going to react with, the dilute acids, and here we have taken hydrochloric acid. Not only this, we can take sulfuric acid also. And what we're going to form, magnesium with hydrochloric acid, it's magnesium chloride plus H2 gases released. So these are the reactions as you can see here. Next, we are going to conduct an experiment on the basis of this, that how metals usually reacts with acid. So to show how metals and non-metals react with dilute acid, what are the things we are going to take? While doing this experiment, is very important that you have to keep your mouth off the test tube, away from your face, and use test tube holder to hold the test tube. So what we are going to take samples of metal and non-metals in separate test tubes and label them A, B, C, D, and E and F. With the help of a dropper, add 5 ml of dilute hydrochloric acid to each test tube one by one and observe the reactions carefully. If no reactions occur in cold solution, warm the test tube gently and bring a burning matchstick near the mouth of each test tube. Repeat the same activity using dilute sulfuric acid instead of the dilute hydrochloric acid. Record your observation. So what we are going to do is, we'll take the samples of metals like magnesium ribbon, aluminium foil, iron nail, coal piece and sulfur powder. Here non-metals are coal piece and sulfur powder, rest are the metals. So in separate test tube and label them A, B, C, D and E. So add 5 ml of dilute hydrochloric acid to each test tube with the help of a dropper and observe the reaction carefully. So in A test tube we have added magnesium ribbon. In B test tube we have added aluminium foil. In C test tube we have used iron nail. And in D test tube we have used coal piece, and in E test tube we have used sulfur powder. So bring a burning matchstick near the mouth of each test tube. What you are going to observe? So what we are going to observe is, I will going to send you the table also, that what are the reaction with the hydrochloric acid with all these kind of metal and non-metals that we have taken in the test tube. So the chemical reaction involved in this activity will be, like in the first we have used magnesium, A test tube. Magnesium reacts quite rapidly with dilute hydrochloric acid and forms magnesium chloride and hydrogen gas is released. So this reaction also I will send you, and you will going to do it in your practical file. Okay, all these activities, whatever we are discussing, that you will going to do it in a practical file, and whenever there will be a Google Meet, I'll show you this slide. So the second one is, aluminium reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid and forms aluminium chloride and hydrogen gas is released. Again the same thing is happening. So aluminium chloride will going to form. And in the third test tube, what will going to happen, that iron reacts slowly with dilute hydrochloric acid, forming the iron chloride, and again hydrogen gas is released. So number 4 and 5, that is D and E, what we have used, coal, which is non-metal, sulfur also non-metal, there is no reaction and no gas is evolved. Thus it shows that sulfur, whenever reacts with hydrochloric acid, there is no reaction. Coal, whenever it's going to react with hydrochloric acid or acid, we can say that there is no reaction. So what we are going to conclude with this activity is, metals like magnesium, aluminium and iron react with dilute acid and produce hydrogen gas that burns with a pop sound. Non-metals do not react with dilute acid. Okay, so these are the observations that I have already told you. So same you can do it with hydrochloric acid. If hydrochloric is not available, you can do it with the sulfuric acid too. So this is one example that I have taken here, that magnesium, that I'll send you myself later on. So some less reactive elements like copper, silver and gold, which are metals, do not react with dilute acids. Please underline it and write it somewhere in your book. So non-metals do not react with dilute acid, that we have already discussed. Now the activity number 7 is on the basis of the reaction with bases. So metals react with bases to form their respective salts and hydrogen gas. Let us study how metal reacts with bases. Okay. So to show that this reactive metals react with solution of bases to form a hydrogen gas, again we are going to conduct an activity, and during the preparation of this we are going to make a sodium hydroxide solution, which we have to be careful while making that solution, and it has to be used with a plastic spatula. So prepare a fresh solution of sodium hydroxide in a test tube by dissolving 3-4 pallets of it in 5 ml of water. We are going to make a solution which is a base here, sodium hydroxide, and we are going to mix it with water, adding 3-4 pallets of sodium hydroxide in it. So drop a piece of aluminium foil in it, bring a burning matchstick near the mouth of the test tube, observe carefully. What we are going to observe is, as before, the pops on indicates the presence of hydrogen gas, metals will react with sodium hydroxide to produce hydrogen gas again. So what will going to happen is, after adding a piece of aluminium foil to the solution, that is with the base, you can see a tiny bubbles of gas in the solution. And when you bring a burning matchstick near the mouth of the test tube, what we are going to observe is the gas which has been produced catches fire and burns with the pop sound. The pop sound indicates the hydrogen gas is evolved during the reaction. So I'm going to send you the reaction here also. And conclusion, what we are going to conclude with this reaction is that reactive metals like aluminium react with solution of bases to form a hydrogen gas. Okay. So before we go to the displacement reaction, let me clarify that reaction of non-metals with bases are quite complex, and this you will going to study in higher classes. So the next topic that we are going to take is displacement reaction. So displacement reaction, this is a very important definition which is there in your book. Please underline it and learn it also. Displacement reaction is a chemical reaction in which a more reactive element, means the one metal which is more powerful, will going to displace a less reactive element from its compound. Both metals and non-metals take part in displacement reaction, isn't it? For example, reaction of iron nail with copper sulfate solution. There is a quite good activity which is given here in our book also. We're going to discuss this. Before we'll study about the displacement reaction, how we came to know that which metals are quite reactive and most reactive, and some are less reactive. So on the basis of this reactivity series, we came to know that which metals are more reactive and most reactive. And this how the series goes down, and the last gold, as you can see, is the less reactive metal. So what is reactivity series of metal is basically the arranging of metals in the decreasing order of their reactivity is called reactivity series of metals. And how you can learn it? First of all, as you can see here on the top is potassium, which is the most reactive one, and the symbol is given is like this here. So it is a very easiest way, easiest rhyme to learn this is, so this is the reactivity series: potassium, K, sodium, Na, calcium. This you can see here, all the symbols is also given here and the name of the metals. How you can learn it is Kashi Nath ka Mali, Kashi, K for Kashi, Na for Nath, Ca Ka, Mali, Mg, magnesium, Alu, Al, Zn, zinc, Zara, Fe, that is our iron, Pk, Pb is pakata, H for hydrogen है. So copper next is कौन है, आगे आओ, Cu is for, C is for कौन, Hg, H है, Ag, आगे आओ. Alright. So this is how you can learn the reactivity series in a very good rhyming way. There is no need to just cram it up, and you can learn it very nicely. So one more is there that will going to help you out. Kedar Nath ka Mali आलू जरा फीके पकाता है क्योंकि हर आलू अच्छा नहीं पकता. दिस इज ऑल्सो देयर. सो एज जैसे आपको सूट करता है वैसे आप याद कर सकते हैं इसको. नेक्स्ट, जब हम डिस्प्लेसमेंट रिएक्शन की बात कर रहे हैं तो ये रिएक्टिविटी सीरीज आपको दिमाग में रखनी है जब हम डिस्प्लेसमेंट रिएक्शन करेंगे। तो इसके बेसिस पर आपकी बुक में एक्टिविटी 8 दिया हुआ है, ठीक है। So take 500 ml beakers and label them A, B, C, D and E and take about 50 ml of water in each beaker. Dissolve in each beaker a teaspoon of each substances. ठीक है, तो अब डिस्प्लेसमेंट रिएक्शन आई होप आपको क्लियर हो गया है। मैं आपको फिर से एक बार बता देती हूँ कि व्हेन अ मोर रिएक्टिव मेटल इज एडेड टू द सॉल्ट सॉल्यूशन ऑफ अ लेस रिएक्टिव मेटल, द मोर रिएक्टिव मेटल जो सबसे रिएक्टिव होगा वो उसको डिस्प्लेस कर देगा लेस रिएक्टिव मेटल फ्रॉम इट्स सॉल्ट सॉल्यूशन। So such a chemical reaction is called a displacement reaction. In other words, we can say that displacement reaction is a chemical reaction in which one or more element displace a less reactive element from its salt solution. So here is the observation. First of all, we have taken the things. What we are going to take is 2 test tubes. Here in your book, they have taken 5 elements. So we're going to take at least 2 test tubes, an iron nail, a piece of copper wire, 10 ml of dilute copper sulfate solution and iron sulfate solution. Okay, so take 10 ml of dilute copper sulfate solution in a test tube, and you have seen that copper sulfate is bluish in color and it is blue colored solution, and place an iron nail in the solution and stir the solution for a few minutes and then leave it for some time. What we are going to observe, we're going to discuss it later. Now take iron sulfate, which is green color solution, in a test tube and place a colored wire in it, copper wire in it. Shake the test tube and leave it for some time. Alright, you have read that one metal displaces another metal from its compound in aqueous solution. In beaker A, they have taken zinc replaces copper from its copper sulfate solution. Okay, either you take copper sulfate solution with iron nail, or you can take with the zinc. It will going to show the same reaction. So this is why the blue color of copper sulfate disappears and a powdery red mass of copper is deposited at the bottom of the beaker, and it is very clear to see that, and the reaction can be represented as follows, as you can see here. So there could have been a displacement of zinc by copper in beaker C and by iron in beaker E, which is shown in your book. Similarly, iron could be displaced by copper in beaker D. Since we do not see any change in beaker C, we can infer the copper is not able to displace zinc from its zinc sulfate solution. And why it happened? Because zinc, please underline it in your book also, zinc can replace copper in beaker A. Why cannot copper displace zinc in beaker C? This is why it happens, because when zinc can replace copper in its solution, because zinc is more reactive than copper. But in zinc sulfate, when there is a solution of zinc sulfate and when copper we are going to add, there you are going to see no reaction because copper is less reactive than zinc. So this is how it works. And the rule here is that zinc is more reactive than copper and iron. A more reactive metal can replace a less reactive metal, but a less reactive one cannot replace a more reactive metal. Now you can understand why there are no displacement reaction in beaker D and E also. Why? Because there are less reactive metals which are been added to the solution which are more reactive metals. Okay. And the next is, here is the reaction, as you can see, magnesium displaces copper from copper sulfate solution. Why it happens? Because magnesium is more reactive than copper. Then zinc displaces copper from copper sulfate solution. Why it happens? That because zinc is more reactive than copper. Iron displaces copper from copper sulfate solution because iron is more reactive than copper. So as you can see here in the reaction, the earlier reaction which we have taken was the 2 test tube, isn't it? Blue colored copper sulfate, and we have added an iron nail. Okay, and in a zinc sulfate solution, iron sulfate solution, which is green in color, we have added a copper wire. What we are going to observe in this reaction is that the portion of the iron nail which is inside the copper sulfate solution become reddish brown. This is because a layer of copper gets deposited over the surface of iron nail, and iron is more reactive than the copper, so it is displaced copper from the copper solution, sulfate solution, and the color of the solution slowly changes from blue to green due to the formation of iron sulfate, and we know that iron sulfate is greenish in color. Alright, and iron is more reactive than copper. So when you place a copper wire in a solution of iron sulfate, you observe that there is no change in the color of the solution and no new substances form.